Get the book out of the way.
No, I wanted to show. I've been looking at books and stuff, and haven't done a video yet this weekend. So this is the video for the weekend, I think. I'll probably do more tomorrow. I'm just not sure. I'm going to be very busy tomorrow making stuff for the auction, but I'm going to do another rock to point video, and my friend has the Overstreet. I've been looking at that, which is very interesting. This is a good magazine too. And trying to figure out what my new favorite point style is. There's a lot of good ones in there. I took some pictures with my phone. So the Cache River I was looking at, it was open to the page where it has Cache River or something like that. Yeah, I lost my page. But that's a very interesting point. But it's found mainly in Arkansas, I think. I was going to make one of those. But it's time to make a video before it gets too late. This is root beerish type Edwards Plateau chert. Kind of clunky. I'll try to maximize it. Okay. So same 1 5/8" diameter. It's about a 9 ounce or so. Bopper, lead filled. You know, the handle is very light. The tip is very heavy. Works very well. It does a lot of work for you, actually. Yeah, this is high grade stuff. I gotta make sure I don't do that. Create a large bulb right away. Yeah, with high grade material, it's easy to do that. Yeah, the large bulbs. I can use some of these flakes. I keep getting questions on how to do turtlebacks, how to remove turtlebacks. I think that's why I get a lot of views on the first video in the series, is because I removed turtlebacks and stuff like that in the first video of the series. Like I'll do a 3-part series, I'll get most of the views on the first part, which is doing the initial reduction from a clunky piece. And I think it's mainly because people want to see how to eliminate turtlebacks. You just got to hit really hard. You don't, you know, it's good to be below center line when you hit to remove a big area, but you don't have to be all that far below center line. You can be at center line, sometimes even slightly above, depending on how skilled you are at predicting where that bulb of percussion is going to be. Sometimes you can remove a turtleback just with the bulb of percussion. So I'll try to show that here if I can. But yeah, if the turtleback is close enough to the edge, you can hit above center line and scoop out that turtleback with the bulb of percussion. But for now, I'm just going to go with the below center line stuff on most of this. And you can get good flakes to be used for other things. If you take off big flakes by using the below center line method, so you don't end up with a big scoop out. You know, if you scoop it out to remove the turtleback, you get a very rounded almondy type piece that it'll be difficult to work. You know what I mean? If you want to save your debitage. If you're not worried about the debitage too much, then you don't need to worry about it. Nice. So how do you maximize it? New guys, you won't be able to do it very easily. It takes practice. because you do have to have some measure of predictability in order to maximize it. You have to have at least a little bit of predictability on what you can do. That way you can actually have a strategy. All right, so let's see. You don't always need a strategy. You don't always need to think about it a lot. Sometimes you can just use your muscle memory and just go to town on it and get some good results. But on this one, there's cracks and stuff, so the next move is important. I got to make sure that if I see a biface in there, I don't mess up where I see it. I see it on the top here, and kind of from the longest point here through there to that point. So I got to remove that top mass there and this bottom mass down here. I'm not really trying to preserve the best stuff. The best stuff is up here, right? Now, if I can preserve this good stuff and not this bad stuff, that would be good. But you never know. There's a big crack in the good stuff. I might be able to hit right there and pop a lot of this off here. Might be able to. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, if you've got cooperative stone, it helps. But there's still a crack in there, so I still have to take another hit in there. This is a good spot. Okay. I'm going to grind it anyway, even if I don't need to. I don't know if I'll be able to show you removing a turtleback with the bulb of percussion, but I got to remind myself that if it's possible, I will show you how to do it. If it's possible on this piece. I do want to preserve as much of this top area as I can because it's a lot better than this stuff. Okay. I can hit here, but that's all cortex. It's all soft. It doesn't allow me to hit it right here where I want to because it's just going to hit the cortex and all that energy will be absorbed. It won't go through there. If I expose the bare rock, it can go through there, but then I lose the length. Let's see. I think I can demonstrate removing this area with the bulb of percussion by hitting right there, because it'll just scoop that out. And this is above center line. Or at center line. If I hit right here, I can scoop this out with the bulb of percussion. Are you ready? Did it do it? It did it. And you see, I hit. It's right at center line there. It's not below like hitting down here. I hit up here and scooped it out with the bulb. But you end up with a chunky piece that you might be able to use, but at least you get rid of that big old turtleback-ish looking thing. Okay. And that's all bulb of percussion right there. There's not much flake travel after that. See that? It's just it thins out right away after that bulb of percussion. This is good for a tool. That edge is perfect. Look how thin that edge is. Okay. So now I'm just going to regularize it. Just go around and take care of I still got the crack there, so that's the worst thing. So if I do the worst first, I need to take care of that crack. I'm going to lose some length. So I want to hit this way. I'm in my friend's garage. It might not look like it, but you can tell by the lighting and the extension cord and stuff. He's got a heated garage, which is a lot better than my shop. Okay. Did it do it? All right, I think I got it. This is a lumpy spot right here. It's through the good material, but I've got to get rid of it. Yeah, there's no way around it. If I get a good flake, I can use it. Yeah, this is good material in here. This platform is pretty much perfect, right? When I have a perfect platform, I tend to not hit it in the way I should. I don't know why. Okay, hold on. There we go. And that flake was good. A little bit thin, but I can probably use it. One of these days, when I start making the small arrowheads again. So this is another opportunity to remove this with a bulb of percussion. And it's at center line where I'm going to hit. Okay, come on. If I'm looking through the viewfinder, so I'm fumble fingering it. This is the center line, right? Somewhere in there. And I'm going to hit right here. Right there. So it's at center line. It's not below. It's right up here. I'm going to hit right up here and scoop that out with the bulb of percussion. In theory. Okay. Let's see if it did it. It did it partially. It didn't really go exactly as planned. Let's see. Again, I'm going to hit above center line or at center line into this area and scoop it out with the bulb of percussion. Let's see if it did it. See, and you can tell that's what I did because the edges are very, very thin. It didn't travel. It's just the bulb. Okay. Now I could zigzag it because the lower face is intersecting with the upper face, or one face it has intersected with, you know, with the other face. You got an intersection between faces here, so I can start zigzagging there. You got an intersection here. There's different places where they've met. Wherever the faces meet, you can start zigzagging, or you can just continue to hit lumpy spots. I'm going to lower the edge on this one, on some of these strikes. It's not just dulling, it's, you know, scraping across and removing some flakes so that the edge moves this way. So I get some travel. Yeah, the lower the platform, the more travel, the more potential you'll have for travel. Okay. And as you do more and more of these, it goes much faster. I'm intentionally slowing it down so I can show you. So there's basically two ways that I remove lumpy areas. I'm using the bulbar percussion with a high platform, or a regular flake with a low platform. Oops. Yeah, when there's not much travel, that means I'm just scooping it out to get rid of that lump. Not that I plan each flake exactly, or not that I know exactly where each is going to go, but for the most part, I know it's going to be a short flake, especially when I hit downward mostly. But this one was inward and downward. There's follow through, and it was a fast strike. Is there a time where you can make slow strikes? Yeah, the trimming, just the tapping and trimming are slow strikes. But for long flakes, I don't think I use slow strikes for long flakes. It's always a crisp snap when I want it to travel. And I use the mass of the piece against itself. So I'll hit it where there's a great amount of mass on the other side of the hit. It seems to work well. See what I mean? A lot of mass in this direction compared to trying to hit it in this direction. It'll move. There's not much mass behind it. So instead of, let's say, trimming it this way, I'm using the mass of this against itself so that I get more force inward. These are slow strikes, just trim it. And I'm trimming it to make the edge go that way because I need to get rid of that concrete. And there's no good opportunities that I can see because it's in the middle. If it was on the edge, I could always pop off a bulb and get rid of it. But since it's near the middle, I need a longer flake, so I'm lowering the edge. There's a lot of new viewers this month, and it's probably because of the Christmas vacation stuff. People they got time to watch some YouTube videos. So I'm gearing some of these videos for the new guys. So I took the opportunity to trim some of the surface as well as the edge while I was lowering it this way so I can attack that. Okay. Now the hardest part of the flake to control is the termination. The easiest part is right in the middle. The beginning is hard to control and the ending is hard to control. The beginning is easier, the middle is the easiest, and the hardest is the ending. Okay, hardest, and then this is the next hardest, and the middle is the easiest to predict. So yes, that means the length of the flake is difficult to predict because that's the termination. But the middle portion is easy. So if you need something removed, try to make sure that the flake you're getting has your obstacle in the middle of the flake where it's easiest to predict. Okay, you can look at it that way. If you have a nasty piece of concrete or a bump, try to ensure that that obstacle is in the middle of the flake that you're trying to get. Okay, that's the easiest spot to predict. The beginning is difficult, the ending is difficult, but the middle is easier. So, again, you want the middle to undercut that obstacle. But of course, there are times when the obstacle is at the end of the flake or at the beginning of the flake. If the obstacle is at the end of the flake, that's when you have the most trouble. That's where you get islands in the middle. The next hardest is trying to remove an obstacle right on the edge because you can crush the living daylights out of the edge and not get anywhere. You can still do it. You can still eliminate obstacles at the end of the flake. You can eliminate obstacles at the beginning, but it's best to have it in the middle. Like right here, I'm going to hit and hopefully generate a flake where this lump is in the middle of the flake. So yeah, it's in the middle. I missed a bunch of times. I did not want to strike too high. It's best just to hit, to barely hit sometimes. But that's by feel. I don't know exactly what to tell you on that one. Sometimes I just barely hit the edge. Just barely. Sometimes I hit it really hard. And up high. Normally when I'm hitting hard and up high, it's because I want to scoop out a big bulb. like I was doing earlier. Okay. So you don't know what the termination is going to do, but if you get lucky, a termination can remove an obstacle in the middle. If you're lucky, I consider it mostly luck. If that's your strategy to eliminate obstacles with the end of the flakes, it's high risk. Yeah, see, it looked like a perfectly good platform, but see, it's difficult to predict. That's the beginning of it. If the obstacle was right there, I would have made it worse. The obstacle is right here. It's that lump. I can attack it from this direction now. But if it was right on the edge, it would have been a much bigger stack, and there's no other way to get to it other than to reduce the width. Okay. I'm starting to reach the limit of my ability with the bopper on this material. It's a little bit tough. Yeah. So why did I hit that? Just to see what would happen. Sometimes you can create a big old stack and then hit the stack with with nacho or with a cheater tool and just blow away that top part of the stack. All right, I'm gonna switch. I'm going to switch, and I'm going to I'll put the next part on the next video. Phase 2 will be on the next video. It's the biphase stage where you take it home from the quarry. It's a blank. So at this stage, I would just bring it home from the quarry. It's thin enough to work with and light enough that it's good. Okay, all right. First stage done. That's it.